Hello folks, and welcome to another episode. In today's video we're going to be working on this Dwarf Jade. Now this jade is actually not mine. In fact, it's my wife's. However, she's the one that has been deciding on the style of the tree, and I just care for it and try to style it for her whenever I get a chance. However, the last time we actually recorded a video on this jade was about 2 years ago, and it pretty much looked like this. Now after 2 years, what I have noticed is that the trunk actually thickened a whole lot, and although I've been trying to do a little bit of directional pruning here and there, I noticed that there's been a lot of growth right here in this past season. Unfortunately, what I really wanted was for a sacrificial branch or one of those branches to actually elongate more in the center, but it actually took a turn and it ended up being one of the branches on the back. Originally too, with the design was that she wanted a tree that could be viewed in a 360 view. So there was really going to be no front for the tree or anything like that. I respect her decision on that, and therefore I decided to put her little bonsai tree in this spot right here. This spot I actually made it myself. It's roughly about 9 inches in width, and I made this in class. So yeah, pretty simple, but really nice. It's about 1.5 inches deep, and it's really good for the roots. Actually, I try to move the tree a little bit, and the Navari and all the root system have actually spread out evenly throughout the whole entire container, and there's really no need for it to actually go through a repotting state or to work on the roots right now. So what we're going to do is just we're going to try to get it back into shape. But before we do so, I want to show you that propagating these trees right here is quite easy. So all you have to do is practically get a clip in here and there, and then after you do that, you place it on some soil. Now, believe it or not, this clipping right here is actually from that same jade, but I decided to go with a little bit more of a formal upright, so I added a little guide right here, and it's been throwing some new shoots. Now, I completely forgot about this whole entire cutting, and it dried out so much to the point that all of the little leaves actually fell off. But for the past maybe a week and a half, I've been watering it and just keeping an eye on it, and as you can see, it pretty much just sprout right back up. But that's another way that you can also propagate them. Now this one right here too has been on its works for about a year now too, and I decided to put it in a little container like this. The wiring right now is a little bit tacky, but that's also because I want to be able to support the main trunk right here as well as this one. But look at this right here, a nice blue that can actually do a really good contrast with the green of the leaves. But without further ado, let's go ahead and continue on working on my wife's tree. So she's not much into the whole wiring. I think also that this tree doesn't necessarily need a whole lot of wiring at the moment. Maybe in the future, once we do have the apex developing a little bit better, we can start to bring some of those branches down. However, what we're going to do today is that we're going to go ahead and use the clip and grow method so that we can go ahead and get this tree styled. Alright, so let's get closer so I can show you. So with jades, if you really want to have a bifurcation on the branches like so, or even like right over here, what you really want to do is figure out the way that the leaves are growing in. For example, if we were to tilt this up right here, if we were to clip right here, there's going to be a bifurcation more likely to occur right over here. And because these leaves right here are aiming sideways, the branching of this branch right here is actually going to be more likely to be sideways. Therefore, if I were to cut this one right here, we would have the whole entire branch growing in this direction. So whichever way we want to have the bifurcation, that's how we're gonna go ahead and do our clipping method. Right here, if we're gonna start from the bottom, what I would want to do is practically look at the bottom right here and just go ahead and cut off the top like so. So I want to go ahead and come back down to that point. Now I don't necessarily know if I'm gonna need this right here, but I just want to see if I can develop a whole nother branch right at the bottom over here. Same thing over here, we have this little branch right here, and we're gonna go ahead and just click back. I'm gonna go ahead and eliminate those right here that are going in an upward direction. Now we had to get back over here, so I'm not sure if you can tell because we do have all of these leaves right here, but this branch itself is thickening quite a lot, and I would personally remove it, but I also want to respect my wife's decision. She wants to keep it, so we're gonna go ahead and just cut off to like this point right over here where it starts to thin out a little bit. And hopefully by cutting some of these branches over here, what we can do is ultimately drag the whole entire energy and then focus it at the top. Now if we wanted this trunk to thicken up a little bit more, I would just leave them because they do aid with that. However, at this point I feel like this tree in my wife's eyes is close to being finished and the means of development, so we're just looking to find some refinement over here. Once again, I'm gonna leave this right here so that we can also just have it as a sacrificial branch, leading branch. This is what's left of this jade tree, and like I said, this is a progress of 2 years. Now I haven't really been fertilizing this tree as much as my other ones, but I'm pretty sure that if I were to just put a little more nutrients into this tree, it would actually grow a little bit better. All of these cuttings right here, they're not going to be wasted. As you folks might know, I like to go ahead and just try to save as much as possible. But yeah, also if you like the plot right here, comment down below and let me know, because as the future approaches, I might be actually selling this little pot. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.